Alright gang, welcome back to our survival challenge here on New Frontier. It is September day 1. I was talking to a neighbor over a county over, and he had some trees he was willing to uplift out of the ground and move over here for me. So we've got a few more trees here that we did not have previously to try to help make the little tunnel here that I was talking about to the access, well, the side access, I guess, to this field over here. Did not do anything with these yet, just in case we decide we're going to get rid of these over here. We're not really sure yet, but did not think we were going to be doing any differences here. So we went ahead and put those in, and I think they look nice. So we've got that going. Unfortunately, other than that, I didn't have a whole lot of time of knocking down any more trees over there like I had initially planned to do. So we may do a little bit of that today. But before we can begin doing that, we're going to actually drill. And what we're going to drill in this field right here, we are going to put in barley. So we need to get the bednar out. Now we've got $356,108 that we got overnight. The sawmill is not quite empty, but it's getting very close. And honestly, realistically, what I would like to do with a lot of this money is potentially put down the other sawmill, right? We were talking about the other sawmill for a while that allow us to do prefab walls. That's really what I want to do. But to do that, we probably need to get rid of a few more trees over here in this area so we can actually find a good location to, just to drop it down at. Because I really want it to probably be over in this area, somewhere in this vicinity. Just based solely on the fact that, the most of the trees we're going to be taking away are going to be in this vicinity and going that way, right? So it just makes a whole lot of sense to put it there, because we're going to be doing a lot of, lumber work over there. So, all right, let's go ahead and turn on the barley, and we'll get started here. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. I have had a doozy of a week at work, so it feels good to be in Farming Simulator here, trying to relax a little bit. Want to get the log cabin going again. That's the main reason why I'm saying we need to go ahead and possibly, more than likely, put down that sawmill today, because we need to get those prefab walls being built so we can actually continue the log cabin there. So that way we don't have to continue in our little house that we have over there, right? So we upgraded the tent for a house over here, and it works out well. You can see it from here from a distance. Just a tiny little house. Basically, it was basically a prefab house, right? Just a pre-built house. Just brought it over there. They brought it out on a trailer, dropped it off for me, and that's where we're at. No longer in a tent, which is good. So I think what I'm going to do here, actually, gang, is we're going to unhook this for a second. I'm going to knock this little thing down here, this little tree here, and we're going to try to maybe square this off a little bit more than what we had. But hopefully you're all doing well today. A little bit of a glitch there. I apologize, gang. For some reason, ever since the most recent update, I'm getting that glitch effect. Can't really explain why, but I am. All right, so it's going to go down to about here. So really, we probably want to get rid of this big tree here too, right? Because we want to kind of try to square this off a little bit. So we probably want to get rid of these trees as well. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that. Let's just knock these trees down, and then we can pull those to the sawmill here closest to the yard. Because that one could use a little bit more wood. Speaking of that, I can go ahead and show you what I'm talking about and how we are starting to finally get lower. Actually, as a matter of fact, they have both run out since the time that I started working on this episode. I did a few things early on, obviously, as I mentioned, but they are both empty, so that's good. So we can get rid of the one that's right over there by the sheep area, so we have a little bit more room to turn around and stuff, right? So that's good for us. These big ones are always it's always a hard time to get them to cut really low to the ground, right? You got to really be finicky with it. Didn't take me too long this time, but normally it does. Manchurian red pine, 25.7 meters. It's a big one. It's a big dog. So we're doing a little bit more forestry work here right off the bat, more than I anticipated doing. But I think it makes sense for us to try to square this this field off a little bit more. All right, so there, down to here. I think that's probably all we really need to get rid of. Maybe this tree. I'm gonna get rid of this tree just to be safe. All right, so let's just carry on. We'll come back and we can touch that up later, right? We can get that started later. A lot of new traffic to the channel lately, so if you are one of those individuals, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. We also got a new member, M55 Gaming, I believe. Yeah, M55 Gaming. I want to make sure I got your name tag there correctly, or your game tag correctly, YouTube name tag correctly, whatever you want to call it. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. If you're interested in that at all, links down below in the description. You get access to videos like this and any other video that I have ready early. Also get input into different series and get your name in the end credits as well. Among other things. A couple little icons for some of the cars. If you recall in some of the different series that we have a lot of run-ins with certain cars, and we've named those cars, and by we I mean mostly it's been named by subscribers or members to the channel. More specifically, there's 3 of them that I have put out there. I might think about upgrading those here in the near future, but for now, they're out there. And it's the 3 big culprits, the ones that you would expect. Byron, Walter, and Scarlet, they're all out there. We've had some run-ins with all 3 of them recently on the Investment Challenge series. They've been a nuisance on that series for sure. It always seems to be that they're the biggest problem on maps that have been modded for whatever reason. There's just something that the game mechanics do not like about the modded pathing or something. I don't know what it is, but they always seem to be worse there than they do just on the regular vanilla base game maps. Now, besides doing the drilling here, the other things we have to do today, well, one, we're going to obviously, like I said, put down that sawmill. We are going to have to fertilize all the fields we drilled in the last episode for their second application of fertilizer. And we also have the ability, which we haven't done in a while, so it might be time for us to consider doing it. We might even have the worker do a little bit of some of these things here for us just to help us out. But we also have the grass ready to be mowed. So it'd probably be good for us to get some grass mowing. We probably need to actually, now that I say that, take a look at our animals and make sure they're doing good. I have not looked at them at all. I don't think we really did a whole lot of them in the last episode. So they may need some food, water, whatever it may be. Well, actually, both those pens, I think, already have water included with it. But they may need some food for sure. We also probably need to look at the greenhouses as well. Make sure they don't need any water, because they certainly could. We haven't taken a look at them for a while either. No, no, no. Turn it off a worker. No, 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 no. Now, the nice thing about this drill is it is a wide drill, as I've mentioned a number of times, and we've never utilized this drill on this field yet, so it is very nice. It has not taken us too long at all to do this. And as I've mentioned previously, when we were drilling this field, it's not exactly set up as I would have imagined. And what I mean by that is the pathing, right? So the pathing for the steering assist and or the AI worker, it's not how I would have envisioned it be set up. It's so, you gotta kind of have to do it ourselves a little bit here. Otherwise, we are spending a lot of extra money if we have a worker doing it for us. So today was the first day in southern Ohio, which is where I live, that it's been extremely nice out. It was, I think it hit almost 80 degrees out today. I think it was 79, 78 or something like that. So feels like spring is finally here, or right around the corner. I think this whole weekend is supposed to be pretty nice here as well, which is good. I've got some stuff to do around the house. I think I mentioned recently on a different series that I had some potholes that occurred over the winter that I had to take care of and fill here at the house. And they have, you know, it shifted a little bit with some rain that we just recently got, so I need to go back out there, put another bit of topsoil down and try to level it out a little bit, put some more grass seed down and, you know, get the grass going on it. So I'll probably spend a little bit of time doing that this weekend, more than likely on Sunday. Time of this recording, I'm recording this Friday night. This is going to come out on a Saturday morning, so not a whole lot of time between when I recorded this one and when it's going to come out, which I typically like to give myself a little bit more time than that, but it's, you know, life happens. There's not a whole lot you can do when life gets in the way, and that's kind of how it's been for me for a while here. It's unfortunate. Let me realign this. Alright, so I'm going to put a worker on doing the rest of this. I don't think they're going to go this way. Oh, they actually might. They are going to go this way. I'm very surprised by this. Work the headlands off. We've already done that. Just do the up and downs. Alright, we'll let the worker do whatever they want to do. That's fine. Let's jump into the vulture here for a minute. We're going to go ahead and pick up the fertilizer spreader. Now, what we could be doing, and what I probably should have done, honestly, but I don't think we had a whole lot of... actually, we didn't, so never mind. Ignore that completely. What I was going to say is we should have probably taken the slurry and put it down on the ground first. But that's all right. As we saw in the last episode, right, we put the slurry down, and it still needs a second application of fertilizer, so I kind of wasted fertilizer there. But that's all right. I mean, it's not really harming anything, right? It's not harming anything at all, as a matter of fact. What we could do, honestly, is just take that production that we got and get rid of the old cultivator on it, and then just utilize it from the perspective of only a slurry spreader, right? We can just buy an attachment for the back that just drops it on the ground, and I would think, at least it should, that should work to be a second application of fertilizer that way. Things are really coming together, man. I'm really liking it. So, we talked originally about, you know, getting rid of these trees over here on this tree line here and maybe making another small field here. The more that things are coming together here, the more I'm kind of leaning towards not doing that. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, I left some space there, obviously, so I can carry some trees to the sawmill there if we want to do that. But I'm kind of leaning towards not doing it the more that things kind of come together here. We are eventually going to be buying another plot of land, and what I mean by eventually, it's probably in the next episode, depending on how much money we get from the sawmill, right? We've got to get some wood in that sawmill so we can actually make some money, but we'll see, right? We'll see. Hopefully, that's the case, is that we're going to be able to buy another plot in the next episode. Now, they don't cost a whole lot. Let me do a quick save here. They don't cost a whole lot to do that. They are not outrageously expensive. They're not cheap, but they're not outrageous. 144,000. We've been making about 300,000. This one's only 124 right here, right? So we can take a look and see which one makes the most sense for us. We're probably going to be looking for one that has a little bit less on the tree front, just because we do have so many trees over there still to try to work through. So we'll probably be looking for something that has a little bit more open space to it, so we can just jump straight into putting more fields in, right? Now, a couple of you also mentioned that you would like to see this series run for the eternity of FS25. And honestly, I don't really have a problem with running this for the entirety of FS25, but I'm going to be completely straight up and frank with you. The odds are that it's not going to be running until the end of FS25, mostly because, well, we've got the series running for the Survive 25, right? And that's going to be a series that admittedly is not going to be running constantly, but off and on until the end of FS25's life. And what I mean by its life is I'm talking about until the next Farming Simulator game or next iteration of Farming Simulator comes out. But there's a chance, right? We always have a chance that we could run this for that long. I just think there's going to be a time period where we're going to be moving on to another map and starting over on a brand new survival challenge, if you will. That way it keeps things fresh for you, keeps things fresh for me, and we're able to see some other maps, right? There's going to be a lot of maps in the life cycle here of FS25, right? So we're definitely going to want to try to jump to some of those other maps and do some challenges and check them out. And there will be plenty of survival challenges that we will be doing. Different versions. This one, right? Obviously, we started this one early on in the lifespan of FS25, and there was limited things you could actually work with or utilize for a survival challenge start, right? So we had a little bit more than you typically would have in this type of challenge, right? Normally you would start with a very small, very cheap tractor and a trailer and maybe a chainsaw, and that's the extent of it, but you really didn't have that ability or option with how little there was at the time on ModHub. So bit of a hybrid one, if you will, but there's going to be plenty of options, plenty of opportunities for us to do other ones. But don't worry if you're really enjoying this series, which I do believe this is probably my best series that I have running, even myself included. I agree with that. We'll be running this series for still quite a while. There's no end in sight anytime soon, let's put it that way. I don't know why I dropped that. That is a mistake there. I don't know what I was doing. I was ready to go pick up the mower stuff, and we are not done with the fertilizer spreading yet. We've got to go spread that other field still. Alright, looks like the worker finished doing the drilling. I'm not sure they actually fully completed it, but it says that they finished it, so we'll take a look at it and see how they did. Once we're done with doing the fertilizing on this field, we'll go ahead and grab the plow, and we'll extend that field a little bit. Like I mentioned, we'll also need to grab the stump grinder, get rid of those stumps so we can actually fully extend it without having any issues. And then we'll just drill up that little corner that we're going to try to square off a little bit to make it a little bit easier. Now, you might be noticing I'm not utilizing steering assist. I don't have a problem with utilizing steering assist. A lot of the times I do utilize steering assist, but I mean, we're just doing these traditional up and downs, and it's relatively straightforward and simple. I'm not too concerned about losing a little bit of fertilizer at this point. We're making enough money off the trees here, so I'm not too worried about that. We did a perfect job on the big field over there. You can see it's all perfectly dark blue, and this one is going to be no exception here. This is going to be a perfect dark blue as well. So, like I said, not really a big deal to me. We're hitting everything we need to hit, and if we lose a little bit, we lose a little bit. It's not a big deal. Now, what I think we're going to end up doing with the sawmill, I've kind of had a bit of a think here for the last few minutes while I was talking to you. So the area where our sawmill is right over there, that's kind of in the way of where we put down our sheep pen at, right? I think we're going to put that sawmill somewhere over in that region. We're going to have to get rid of a few more trees, as I already previously mentioned. But I think putting that sawmill somewhere over here, maybe on the other edge here of the greenhouses, if you will. So what I mean by that is perhaps I stick the sawmill something like here, right? Or here even, facing this way. That way we've got, because we're going to get rid of this sawmill eventually when it's empty. We'll have this sawmill, right, which can continue to run the trees over here, and then the bigger sawmill here can expand out this way. I think that makes sense, at least initially, and hopefully that continues to make sense. All right, looks like the worker did an okay job here, so we're not too worried about that. So let's just move this out of the way for now. We also probably need to spend a little bit of effort here trying to work this track a little bit more, knock down a few more of these trees. So I think we might do that today as well. That might be what we ended up doing a little bit more than doing the mowing. We might save the mowing for the next episode, because I believe in the next episode, let me just verify my statement here. Yeah, the next episode, we're not going to have really anything ready to harvest with the exception of the grass field, right? So we might as well save the grass field for the next episode. That way everything is growing. We'll be good. This is going to be getting closer, but it's not going to be ready in the next episode, so that way we'll just do all the mowing in the next one. Yep, that makes sense. So I'm just going to set that there for right now. Let's go get the plow here, and we'll extend that, and then we're going to grab the stump grinder. I'll actually use the Vulture to get the stump grinder out. Now, I don't think anything that we have in the silo is good to sell in September. I think we looked at this in the last episode, but you know, it's been a couple days since I've done that, so I just try to refresh myself a little bit, if you will. Now, I understand we're going to kill a little bit of this crop we just, you know, drilled, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. That works for me. Just one little spot here and we're done, and we'll just go get the stump grinder. Good enough for me. We'll call that. Now, it's not going to be a huge increase or anything, but it just looks a little better. It makes me feel a little bit better about it, if you will. Right? Alright, that's all taken care of. Let's go ahead and just touch this up real quick. This won't take too long. Then we're going to come over here and try to grab these trees and get them out of here, if at all possible. I know we're messing up the ground. We're making tire marks everywhere. I know. It's alright. It's not that big of a deal. It's just mostly for looks, in the game at least. In real life, yeah, I understand you wouldn't really want to do that, but... I'll try to hit that edge real quick. I don't know if I actually got it or not. Hopefully I did. I think so. It's close enough. If not, we'll make sure we get it on the next time we drill it. Alright, this right here, and we are done. Perfect. Let's go ahead and fold this up. We'll put this away. I've got the Vulture already hooked up to the winch. We can just bring the Vulture over here with the winch as soon as we back this up. And go ahead and get those trees out and bring them over here to the sawmill. When that's done, we're going to go take out the other sawmill. And then we'll kind of start pulling some of those trees out a little bit more. May have to chop down a few more as well. And we'll get that that area prepped to put down the new sawmill that'll allow us to do prefab walls. Now, I won't put this on a time lapse or anything like that, because I've mentioned this more times than I can count. I do think... Okay, it's going to be stuck in there, isn't it? Of course it is. What's it stuck on? What I was trying to get at is I do think it's always these stupid trees. These are just like bush trees. It's always these that are the problem. I'm going to knock this one down and hope that's the case here. What was I saying? I don't like putting forestry work in a time lapse, or even sometimes I don't even really like doing it on camera. I will do it when I have to, but I just don't think it's the most exciting thing to watch, if that makes any sense. And a time lapse, I feel like it could make you sick. So I try to not do that as well because of the time lapse. Come on. Come on. Alright, we're stuck on something else in there. We're going to have to knock down another tree, I think. Oh, we might get lucky here. Actually, I probably should be utilizing the case here, honestly. The case has got a lot more power, but... I mean, this thing should be able to do it. It shouldn't really be a problem. I mean, this tree we're pulling here is a massive tree. It's one of those big dog trees that I like to call them, right? But, I mean, this should still be able to pull it. It is spinning a lot. Oh, it needs a weight on the front. I should have put the weight up here. All right, we'll get this one over here, and then we'll switch it out to the case and get the rest of them, the rest of the 2 or 3 that are still over there to get knocked down. Or that were knocked down, rather, not get knocked down. They've already been knocked down. Yeah, we are lifting up. The front tires are being lifted up right now. Let's get over this hill, though. We should be all right. All right. Let's get the case. Yep, case is pulling this no problem at all. It's just, the thing is super heavy. And it was just picking up the front tires because we didn't have the weight on. But this should work no problem with the case. It's got so much power. Perfect. Yeah, big time. 8,000 liters, almost 9,000 liters out of that one tree. These other two, just to give that a little bit of perspective, these other two I'm going to pull over here are going to get probably 6, I think. Because that one tree actually does produce a lot of a decent amount of money, rather. It's not the big one, but it's the lodgepole pine. Those actually do produce a lot of money, mostly because it is a very, very straight tree. And what I mean by a straight tree is it doesn't have any curves or anything like that in it. So it's good wood, right? It's good wood for building and doing other things with it. So they don't have to do a ton to it. They don't have to spend a bunch of effort on it. So they're typically worth a little bit because of that reason. What are we stuck on here? I guess it could be a whole slew of trees in here we could be stuck on, huh? I don't know how I'm going to knock that down. Am I going to be able to knock that down? I do not think I'm going to be able to get that guy out. Alright, well, he's just going to stay there then for a little bit. Maybe eventually we take out some more of these trees over here. Who knows? Ooh, I don't know why I was looking at the sky there. But for now, we're not doing that, so we'll just leave it be. It's not really in the way. It's out far enough away that it won't be an issue, so we'll just grab this pine here. Alright, let's see. What do we get from the pine there? The pine only gave us like 2,000 and something. So yeah, they're just, those big trees are just, they're the way to go, man, for sure. Okay, so that's all taken care of. Let's head over here. We're going to get rid of the other sawmill. And let's look and actually see how much room we're going to need for this big sawmill that we have to put down. I would suspect it's probably a lot, because it's like $300,000, I think, for this sawmill. It's not cheap by any means. Not cheap at all. Probably need to move a couple of these things out of the way as well. Let's go ahead and get rid of this first off. Enter demolition mode. Perfect. Okay, that's gone. Put this over here. I should have brought the stump grinder over here. I keep forgetting about this stupid... That's the stupid bush-like tree that I hate. That everything gets stuck on. That's what that is in the ground there. It's 4 little twig stumps that we got to get rid of still. Move this out of the way. This really should go back to the yard. We will take it back to the yard, but for now, let's just get it out of the way. Okay, so we'll turn off the tractor for now. We'll come on over here, and let's just see what we're dealing with here. So factories, it's this one, $300,000. So it's not the largest thing in the world. Where do we drop things off at, though? That's a good question. Let's say it's on this side, and it spawns stuff over here, clearly. Okay, so I actually don't mind it being here. There's probably stumps in the ground. That's why they're saying there's something in the way. As a matter of fact, I know there's stumps in the ground. There's some floating tree branches there. But I think if we stick it, like, here, I don't really dislike this at all. I think that's plenty of room for us to be able to pull the trees into it, still have room to turn around. This can be nestled in nicely next to the trees. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the vulture. Let's get the stump grinder. Let's get over there. I'm gonna get rid of some stumps. I'll be back with you in a second, ready to put down that sawmill. All right, so here's what I think I'm gonna do. I was trying to get rid of the stumps. They're kind of hard to see. We're gonna be painting up this area anyway, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and paint it for now, and then we can touch it up later. We'll just paint a good vicinity here, and then if we want to, make it grass later on, well, there you go. We'll make it grass. That's fine, right? Not a big deal. If we want to make it gravel later on, again, it's not a big deal. But we might as well make it, make it match everything else, right? There's no reason not to. And this is going to make it much easier to find these stumps. Right. That's going to be good for now. Like I said, we'll touch it up here in a minute, but let's go ahead and get rid of these stumps here. There's a lot of them, as you can see. There is a lot of stumps in here. Problem is, sometimes you have to hit it at a certain angle, or it won't even register that you're getting rid of the stumps. Alright, I'm gonna get these done, gang. And I'm gonna get rid of that other one that's been bothering me for a while, too. So make sure you keep me honest. If for some reason I forget to do it, which I don't know how I'm going to when I'm saying it now, but just keep me honest. Make sure that I get rid of it. In the comments, if I didn't do it, make sure you yell at me and let me know I didn't do it. Okay, we're good, gang. At least I think we're good. I hope we're good. What we're going to do quickly here, though, is just try to soften this area up here. You can see there's some different levels here. We're just going to try to smooth it out a little bit, right? It's going to probably glitch a little bit here, and that's just part of the game trying to render what I'm doing here. So just bear with it for a minute while it glitches out for a minute. Alright, that's going to be about as good as I'm going to be able to make it. Let's do a quick save here just to make sure the game doesn't crash as you see it glitching out and everything. A lot of people have been having those issues. I've mentioned that a couple of times now, but just want to reiterate it just to make sure you know the reason why I'm doing these saves so much all of a sudden. Okay, so, yeah, it did do it. It does say it's overlapping something here. I think I want to snuggle it in here. I think I'm okay with it right there, honestly. Oh boy, that looks like that did a lot of stuff to the ground. It did. It certainly did. We'll have to clean that up a little bit here for sure. I'm relatively happy with how it came out, but it is not perfect by any means. Not by any means at all, especially over here. I hope it will allow me to soften this up, because if it's a little bit of a hill, that doesn't really bother me too much. I just don't want it to be as severe as it looks right there. That's pretty severe looking. Get out of the way, tree. I know, another sawmill? I'm out of control, gang. I'm out of control. But this is what we need for that, to be able to accomplish our side objective there with creating a log cabin here, right? So it's definitely needed. Alright, that's not perfect, but it's not bad. I can clean it up a little bit more later on. It's not bad. I'm gonna go around the outside here just to be safe right here. Just try to clean this up, make it easier to make sure we're able to bring the trees here without having any major issues, right? And as we continue to get rid of more of this land and be able to clear it more and be able to spruce it up a little bit, as I would like to call it, right? We'll continue to progress in making sure we make this look as good as we can, smoothing it out as much as possible. All right, I think that's going to be good. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, sawmill. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. We want the prefab walls. That's what we want. That's the only thing we want coming out of this one, if I'm honest with you. That's it. We don't want anything else but that one. Now, I think we can ship wood. We can. So if we go to the industrial sawmills here and we place these down wherever we want, right, to make it easier for us to not have to drag them so far, we can do this and just put the wood in there, and then it will distribute it to the sawmill here. Which I think, for the time being, that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and turn deactivate, and then... Oh, well, I don't know. It might go to the other ones, though, wouldn't it? I better not do that. Ignore that. It probably would ship it to other ones. It may not just ship it to this one, which we'd only want it to go to this one. But since we have so many sawmills right now, I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. So let's do a little bit of cleanup here. This won't take long to do it, but let's just make sure we make it look good here. We want it to kind of match everything else, right? Now what I'm going to do is try to clean this area up like I did here, right? Where I've put some gravel on the edge, going around the edges of this area. But we still don't really know what we're going to put here yet, right? We're going to do another row of greenhouses here. We already talked about this, right? We're going to do another row of greenhouses here. But we're going to put something here. We're just not sure quite yet what it's going to be. We've got something here, which is what I was hoping for, right? We've got plenty of room here for us to do turnaround and be able to bring a tree into here and drag it. Well, it's going to go here, but plenty of room for us to do turnarounds. So, yeah. Now, this is going to expand more as we carry on, so... But for now, this is temporarily, that's I would say that's good enough. We're going to turn on the free mode here, because I want to turn this mostly into what we're utilizing here. I don't really want it to be cement, gravel, whatever that is. I want it to be this darker asphalt looking like gravel stuff. Okay. Alright, good. For now, that's good. Like I said, eventually we're going to touch it up and make it look really good like this all the way around the outside edges. But until we have an idea of where everything else is going, I don't think there's any reason to do it yet. We're just going to waste more money on that. Okay, so we can go ahead and put this away. Oh, so I did get rid of that stump over there too that's been driving me crazy. So you don't have to worry about that. That is now done. So let's put this away. We'll get the case out. We're going to get some more trees pulled and we'll put them into the sawmill. All right, let's see what we can get put into here. The issue right here in this area is there's a lot of trees that are being blocked by other trees that need to be knocked down. So let's knock some of these guys down here. Try to help assist this as much as possible with being able to open this area up a little bit more. Because really, we want to open this area up so we can turn it into, you know, more crop fields, really, if more than anything, right? Now, as far as the animals go, I did take a quick look at them. They are okay, so I'm not going to worry about them today. We can worry about them in the next episode when we do the mowing of the grass. I did not look at the greenhouses, though. Let's look at that really quick here. Let's see how they're doing. They are fine as well. So, yeah, we can take care of topping all of that stuff off in the next episode. Which is good, since we know for a fact in the next episode we're only not going to have any fields that have to have any work done to them, right? That is, unless we buy another plot of land and start creating another field, which we'll see what kind of money we get, and that's really going to be the deciding factor if we're going to do that or not, right? How much money we make over the between now and the next episode, which it probably isn't going to be as much as we have been making. Unless I somehow gain some time and am able to do a whole lot of forestry work here off camera. That's the only way that we're probably going to be making a ton of money. Now, if you're new here and you stumbled across this, you might be asking, Z, why are you Why are you going at it that way? That's weird. Well, there's an issue on console, and it still hasn't been fixed. At least not for me, it hasn't. Where, if you look at the winch a certain way, it just freezes the whole game and everything. It crashes out to the dashboard. The whole game crashes out to the Xbox dashboard. As you know, I play on console. I'm on the Xbox, Series X specifically. It crashes out to the dashboard. Okay, so why is it not accepting that? What is going on here? Do I not have it on? Maybe I don't have it on. No, I got it on. Is the window so tiny that it's just not going to accept it? Is that what it is? No, we're not close enough. Yeah, it's just it's a tiny little trigger. You got to get it really close. Oh, it's okay. Never mind. It's the old school way where you put it in there and then you have to actually hit the trigger by hand. You got to hit the trigger by hand. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. That's not that big of a deal. I'm just so used to all the other ones now where they just the trigger's automatic, right? So you just pull it up there and it pull the tree up there to the area and boom, it's in there. And there it goes. There it goes. That's what I'm talking about right there. See that? Game just completely crashed on me. And as you can see, I'm back to square one here, basically, where we do not have a sawmill again. So I'm going to put this down again, and I'll probably just do the rest of the sawmill, the tree knocking down the trees to put into the sawmill. I'll probably do the rest of this off camera, but I just want to show you this is what happens to me quite often with that winch. And it seems to be it's only an issue for whatever reason on console. I can't explain to you why that's the issue, but it seems to be that that's the case. So, you know, it is what it is. This time I was able to actually utilize the place it anywhere as well, which is a little bit better, right? Because I'm able to spawn things here and kind of sink it into the ground a little bit here, as you can see, right? I might go back and fix that actually now that I'm looking at it. I don't necessarily know if I like that. I might go back to how it was before and then just work on it again. But anyway, there you go. You can see the issues that I deal with sometimes in this game. You got to see it firsthand. So I'll fix it all up later. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll leave the episode here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for me. Thank you so much to my now 13 members. It's crazy. Cannot thank you guys enough for everything. Thoughts, comments, questions, comments, ideas. Have you run into this same issue? Are you on console and do you run into this issue with that daggone winch over there? Or is it only me? Let me know down below. I'll see you in the next episode.